Alright guys, so it is end of the night update. Not sure if I've actually filmed anything today, so this may actually be the whole day update. So I'm just going to start from the beginning, and if I see anything interesting I filmed today, I'll add it. Alright, so we went ahead. Dennis's stalker was on the dyno. Damien Carbine came through last night with the sniffer block I needed. I got that all plumbed up. New sensor on it, wired into the dyno, and guess what? We got O2s on the dyno. Are they accurate? Not entirely sure yet. Are they up there? Yep. So I'll probably put the sniffer on this bike while Dennis is doing his thing, so I can ask him to compare his data logs to what's showing on the dyno and see if they're accurate. It is in Lambda, which is going to throw some people for a loop. It's not as easy to understand of a scale. It's really easy to tune with, but most people don't understand it. I like Lambda. Personal preference. So, let's see. Irritated Max has arrived. Dennis brought it today. I loaded it up on there and strapped it down for him. He is going to come over while I am working on building Chris Charles's engine. He's going to be tuning that in the background. So, if I'm filming and you hear bike running in the background, excuse the noise. Dennis has got to keep moving. I got to keep moving. I don't have anything. Well, I do have some stuff that needs to go on the dyno, but my priority one bike that has to get done, it is the longest one here. And again, I apologize to those who are watching. I spoke with a few of you already and explained the situation that the oldest bike is priority one. It's just how business goes. So, the one I'm working on does not require me to have the dyno right now. So Dennis is taking the dyno so he can continue to move forward. Have a few things me and Dennis spitballed on the Texas bike. Basically, the motor that was in it, it's an NA bike. It's all motor. It should not have killed pistons. We are both 100% sure the reason it killed pistons is the same reason that it's heaving and running like shit right now. Because it was doing that before with the other motor. So I've got an existing issue to figure out. We'll get to that. I am going to change out the crank sensor and the cover and see if that solves it. I'm also going to check the angle of that, and I'm going to spin the cam pin. But all that's not priority one. So, it is what it is. Eric's still the same. Haven't done anything on it today. Warren's not stalling. Dennis is going to be working on that in between that cooling off on blowers. Marcus Ham came over and pulled the swing arm off of the bike he sold to Hoopty Ricks. They will be back tomorrow with a shorter swing arm to put on that. And it'll be back to a rolling chassis. You can go back down to storage. His motor, I have everything to build it. That's just a frickin' another thing on the plate. Colorado bike. You notice everything's missing. Everything's in its totes and organized and inventoried. I did take a little bit of time today. I stepped away from Chris Charles' bike for a minute. ADHD, okay? I don't know if you have this or may know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you get freaking frustrated with something for no reason whatsoever. You just step away for a minute, work on something else. So I took just enough time to bust this motor into a million pieces. So I just busted this motor down. Haven't done anything with it other than quick inspection. Made sure the valve springs are in the head that he said was in it, and found a few things wrong that need corrected. And sent him notice of that. Let's see. Try and go through this really quick. So the cases are over here. They're going to go to Damien Carbine for vapor blasting. The case here, when it comes back from vapor blast, needs welded up. Someone put too long of a bolt in it, deadheaded it, blew it out. The cam chain guide bolt was snapped off in the case previously, and there's about 6 stripped out bolts on this thing. Like, I got to go through and check every bolt hole and helicoil, a lot of them. Someone got really aggressive and over-tightened things. And he did have a chain break. He thought it just scratched it, but as you can see here, there's a crack. That'll be an oil leak. This has got to be replaced. Hence why it's here, so I remember to order it because it's not on the parts list. I need to add it to the parts list. So tomorrow, and the other reason I broke that motor down is time constraint. So this transmission has to go out for a full race cut. Back cutting every gear in it. So that'll get sent out, and it'll take a couple weeks to come back. So it needed to get out, gone. So now that bike's at its stop point where it can just sit. Tomorrow, I want to have the entire short block done for Chris Charles, ready to put the head on. I want to place the parts order for that motor because I'm an idiot. I did not order a 30 thou head gasket from Cometic, well, from Rob Bush Motorsports, 190hookup.com. I'm a dealer. I did not order the head gasket for the half-inch head studs, so I can't put the head on. So there may be a point. Here. Depending on if the head gasket's in stock, I'm pretty sure it is, which means it'll only be 2 days, but it might be 2 days I bought, where I can say with absolute confidence that that moves from priority 1 because I can't move on it. If I can't move on it, priority 2 becomes priority 1. And I will jump all over that thing because it's driving me nuts. Update on the Chad thing. I have acquired an attorney for anyone who's following. I have acquired an attorney. We're responding to him tomorrow. That was a very, 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 very large expenditure that hurt. So, another piece of information I'm going to put out there. Dragonfly is done for a hot minute. I came across a convenient situation that worked out. An individual got a hold of me talking about wanting a standalone. Wow, that's really bright. Wanting a standalone ECU. I need to wipe my screen. Whatever. I conveniently have a standalone ECU that'll plug right into his bike with very little modification. I needed a large sum of money really quickly. So I sold the entire Max ECU setup, everything, off of Dragonfly. Temporarily, the goal is to recoup enough funds over the winter to make up for it and have my bike back. I do have a turbo kit for it. It needs fab work, which means I need to buy stainless pipe to finish the fab work. Can't afford stainless pipe right now. I can't afford ramen noodles. My account just went to zero really freaking quick. Attorneys are not cheap. If you didn't know, they're not cheap. Retainers are like, well, $2,500. And just getting a consult was $147. So, yeah, that hurt. But yeah, that's where we're at. Hopefully that all comes to a finalized settlement within the next week. We'll see. Doubtful. Probably going to wind up going to court. Is what it is. We are back up and operational. The dyno is fully functional. I just need to verify that it is actually reading accurately before I do anything radical. I could probably do an all-motor bike and get close enough because I allow the air fuel to float there to find the best power, and then I just richen it up a hair to make up for ram air. But something like that or that, where air fuel actually matters very, very much, I don't trust it yet. That has its own Wago, so that would be a good comparison to see if it's reading accurately. The Gen 2, what did it read? I think I actually have a video from earlier today. I was reading 0.92 lambda towards the mid and upper range, which is about on point. That's actually 13.2. It's pretty close to spot on. But down low, it was terrible. It was really lean, then really rich, and then came back, which is the trend you expect to see, but I don't know. Not 100% convinced yet. We'll see. But the siphon's working. Everything seems to be reading right. It doesn't seem too latent, so that's good. It actually reads really, really freaking quick, which may be annoying, but may also be a good thing. Yeah, that's where we're at. This is an 8-minute video I'm going to go ahead and upload. I'm going to go home, eat some ramen noodles, shower, go to bed, and I will be back up here in the morning. It is almost midnight. Later, guys.